boy? My boy Joe Budden is back. Let's go. Let's see this. Let's see this comeback. I'm hyped, yo. It's about time they cut the check. Complex, cut the check. Let's go. Joe Budden, DJ Akademiks. Let's get it. Sponsored by Sony. Where's Joe Budden at? Where's Akademiks? Oh, what?
Joe Budden has left Complex's daily show Everyday Struggle, according to the company. Joe Budden is not continuing as a host on Everyday Struggle.
Everyday Struggle, I think it's like the best of what YouTube can be. I really love Everyday Struggle. I think it's like the best of what YouTube can be. I love this way. People that like this. I want you to know whether you're in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate our crew.
They got this pattern something, bro. Like you're leaning in too much. Like I
I think the show is done. I think the show is done. The best that we can hope for is that Akademiks and Joe Budden figure out a way to make this show on their own. And it's very possible. I think they both have enough resources and enough connections in the industry to be able to recreate something very similar. We'll see. Hopefully they can figure something out. I'm looking forward to 2018 and what it has to offer as far as hip hop content on YouTube. It's a shame. It's a real shame that Complex let this happen. And I understand that Joe Budden is probably hard to work with. You know, we saw all the smoking in the bathroom, the disrespect he had for the Complex employees within the office. But even with that being said, I think the show was good enough that they could have justified keeping him on. Before I talk more about that, I just want to share some of the trending videos that I like right now. This G-Eazy No Limit remix with Rocky, Cardi B, French Montana, Juicy J, and Belly is really tough. I didn't even know that there was a remix out to this track. I had only heard the G-Eazy with Cardi B and Rocky on it, but the remix came out earlier in December, so I'm really digging this track. They have a video out for it now. I wish I would have seen all the people featured on this G-Eazy remix on the Plain Jane remix instead of just the Nicki Minaj verse. All these people on Plain Jane would have been real tough, and maybe somebody out there can remix it to put all these people on Plain Jane instead of on this G-Eazy track, especially because this G-Eazy track, we know that it has a lot of record label momentum and push behind it. That's why it's trending on YouTube. That's why it has this video behind it. That's why it has all these people featured on it. It is a dope track, don't get me wrong, but I much prefer A$AP Ferg's Plain Jane over this. It's a fun video, but it's nothing original. It's just, it seems like a video that they made probably over a couple of days, maybe if not one day, and they just pushed it onto YouTube, and it's doing really good numbers right now. So A$AP Ferg was on Hot 97 recently, and they break down the comparison between the two tracks because their beats and their flows are so similar, and they talk about Juicy J's influence on both of these songs. And it's a really interesting breakdown. I'll put the link so you guys can watch it. Another video that you might want to watch with Cardi B is her interview on Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you.
Definitely check that out. Jimmy Fallon, Cardi B. It's #2 on trending right now on YouTube, so you probably have already seen it or you're gonna see it soon. Also trending is Migos' new track, Stir Fry. They dropped a new track produced by Pharrell Williams, so it has more of like a pop sound than it does like a hip hop sound. It's a dope track, I like it. The visuals that they've put up so far, just a still image, it has like the neon like text, the textures and stuff are very reminiscent of the Motorsport logo that they put out for that track. So I'm digging this track. It has like a pop feel. We'll probably see this song trending even more going forward, especially because the Everyday Struggle controversy kind of put a damper on the Ice Tray song. I think Ice Tray would have been even bigger if Everyday Struggle wasn't going through the controversy. So yeah, this song is pretty dope. I'm digging it. Check it out. All right, so let me talk about Akademiks and his feelings on the ending of Everyday Struggle. He was really in his feelings, talking about basically all the behind the scenes and the legal stuff with the contract negotiations for him and for Joe Budden. And he addressed some of the people that were hating on him for not walking away with Joe. And he kind of addressed the fact that he's contractually obligated to not walk away. Basically, he can't leave. He's still under contract. And so I think it's really tough for people to be criticizing him. I have my own criticisms of Akademiks, but I think it's tough for people to criticize him for not walking away with Joe. I think Complex kind of foresaw the fact that Joe Budden was going to be difficult to re-sign, and so they made sure that they kind of timed the contracts between Akademiks and Joe Budden differently so that they wouldn't be able to leave together and recreate the show elsewhere. Joe Budden was on his podcast, yesterday, and he addressed everything that happened and everything that preceded the whole separation between him and Complex. And he revealed the fact that he was under contract negotiations for months on end. It turns out that Complex was trying to keep Joe Budden and Akademiks in a type of like 360 deal, like a Complex 360 deal, where they have sponsorships for the show, where they have marketing on the show, where they have content marketing on the show with Nike and Spotify. With all of those branding deals, Complex was not compensating Joe Budden or Akademiks. That they were obviously getting a check for these brand deals, but they weren't sharing that check with Akademiks or Joe Budden. And I think that this show wasn't bringing in a lot of ad revenue like maybe Hot Ones does, or maybe some of the more like PC shows do. Kind of how I mentioned in my last video, Joe Budden wanted Complex to take a loss for keeping him on the show. He said specifically this show could have been a loss leader for Complex. It attracts people to the channel, it attracts people to the brand, but it's not necessarily making money directly for the business. A lot of your favorite shows probably are loss leaders. A lot of these networks take a big hit to make these movies or these shows to then make up for the money with the smaller shows that attract all the people. Almost like on Black Friday when they sell you a laptop for $200, they're probably taking a loss on that laptop, but they're betting that once you're in the store, you'll grab a couple of other things on your way out. So this is kind of the same concept of a loss leader in this case for Complex. Everyday Struggle was bringing eyeballs to Complex and giving their other content a little bit more gas, a little bit more fuel, so that it would penetrate a little bit better because of Everyday Struggle. And so we never really saw a lot of ads up against Everyday Struggle. We didn't see like mid-roll ads in Everyday Struggle, which they could have easily done. And we did see that Complex has very little shame. Like the very next video, once it was confirmed that Joe Budden wasn't coming back, the very next video that they put out with the top 10 moments of 2017 on Everyday Struggle was sponsored by Sony. They put the branding right there, right away. As soon as they could get away from Joe, they were able to secure a sponsorship for that top 10 moments. On his Twitch channel, Akademiks was addressing all the criticism that was coming at him.
What does really that mean? So them niggas, I don't really got time for that. So, and I know I might be getting a little bit emotional. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't got time for these media niggas, bro. Like, I don't got time for the games y'all play. I'm gonna tell y'all 100%. And I know a lot of media niggas might be watching now. I've been making more money than y'all before y'all even signed to y'all companies. I've been doing it on my own. Don't try me. I'm good. I don't have to fuck with Complex to make more money than you. This is facts. You're a worker at whatever company you're at. I own my shit. Stop playing with me.
Desus and Mero got at him on their show on Viceland, and they had a few words for Akademiks.
TV report. DJ Akademiks.
Time out. Internet talk show host.
What I said. He went on Twitch.
Internet.
Desus and Mero talking about how they have a real TV set, they have lights, they have cameras. Everyday Struggle had lights and cameras. Everyday Struggle had producers. I'm not sure exactly why they're beefing with Akademiks like this. I don't know where their hate for Akademiks stems from. They came up on the internet just like Akademiks. And let me just ask you this. Do you have Viceland? And if you have Viceland, do you watch Viceland? I don't have Viceland anymore, but when I did, I never watched it. I've never watched Viceland more than 2 or 3 minutes max, and that's when it first came on, and I put it on just to see what they had, and then I never watched it ever again. Vice is legendary on the internet content game, but the TV channel that Vice has right now, I've just never watched it, okay? I've just never watched it more than a couple minutes, and so for Desus and Mero to come at Akademiks because they have a TV show is kind of silly. I don't understand why they're getting at Akademiks and why they think that having a TV show is any better than having any show. And if you don't know, Desus and Mero were the ones that kind of originated this static between Akademiks and them, and it stems back to the whole Migos thing, and when they reacted to it, Mero had some words about Akademiks.
Fam, look, I'm gonna keep it 100,000. You can't just pull a guy off of Twitter and be like, yo, here's a show, nigga, go talk to celebrities. Go talk to celebrities, my nigga.
Well, you guys are from the internet. Desus and Mero originated on the internet. That's how everybody knows them. From Twitter, then to Complex, an internet show, and then from Complex to Viceland. what's the difference between an internet show and a TV show nowadays? Internet shows get just as much ratings and just as much money as TV shows, okay? And we have people that have started on the internet that went to TV. We have people that started on TV that went to the internet. Casey Neistat got his big break through HBO when he did a show on HBO. And then he moved to the internet. Which two of those endeavors has been more successful for Casey Neistat? Issa Rae got started on YouTube and then moved to HBO. And her HBO show has been very successful. So internet and TV are basically parallel now. And we see that with Amazon shows, we see that with Netflix shows. If you really think about it, more people are likely to watch an internet show than they are a TV show, because most houses have 2 TVs on average, one in the bedroom and one in the living room. But everybody has a phone, okay? And on your phone, you can watch YouTube, you can watch Netflix, you can watch whatever you want. So more people are likely to watch an internet show than they are a TV show at this point. It seems like they're hating just a little bit that Akademiks has cultivated his own following and his own audience. So I think it's kind of unfair that they're going at him like this. He's never had any negative energy for them, and they seem to have a lot of negative energy for Akademiks. So hopefully in 2018, we will see Joe Budden and Akademiks reunited on their own show. Maybe they can call it Struggle Every Day. Maybe they can call it something else. Hopefully we'll see them come back. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you to all the people that left comments and feedback in my last video and the video before that. If you like this video, definitely leave a like. If you have any opinions or comments, leave them in my comment box and tell me exactly how you feel. And if you want to stay in touch with me, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see what else I get into. This is going to be my last video for 2017, just because of the holidays and stuff. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, all that stuff. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Peace.